Dave Andrews, Crowdy Road, Concord Township. Lots of things we're celebrating today. County government, National County Government Month. Commissioner Plechnik, you mentioned cessation from Geauga County. And I think Lake's a great county, love Lake. I did live in Geauga for 7 years when I first moved back to Ohio. I was born and raised here. But Geauga gives back to the people there. They do reduce inside millage, so I'm just saying, I know that it's difficult for you guys to do that, especially when you're building a jail or a justice center without raising taxes. So this is why I'm here today. I'm kind of confused about what in the heck. I mean, you also, Commissioner Plechnik, talk about $600 million for the Browns and various other things. Where is it for the people? So what in the heck are you guys doing spending over $500,000 on a 2-car parking garage for a probate judge? The judge already has secure parking with the other judges. All he has to do is walk a few feet in and then take the tunnel to his office. So I'm not quite sure, maybe he just doesn't want to walk as far as the other judges, maybe he doesn't think it's fair. I have no idea. I understand that another option was provided that was a little cheaper, but he said no. I think it was one car. And I was not aware until this week that the design and architecture fees are in addition to the lowest bid, which came in at $515,000. So you guys talk about, and again, it's really tough to build a jail when you lose $306 million from the opioid settlement over 15 years. Now, I know none of that was in a line item for the jail, but Commissioner Plechnik says everything is fungible, and so perhaps you would spend it on certain other things that normally the general fund would fund, and use that money for the jail or for the justice center. So I'm trying to figure out why you guys have such a problem with certain things and concern for the people, but you're willing to spend $500,000 for what many people have told me feels like an entitled judge. When again, secure parking is already provided. He just has to walk a little bit further. Now I also know, and you probably know this, that the judge can just court order his budget. He can court order you to do whatever the heck in the interest of justice. Make him do it. Tell him no. Make him court order the people pay for this ridiculous waste of taxpayer funds. Find your spine, gents. Do you work for the judges or do you work for the people? That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. So first I want to thank you for actually coming in and asking and engaging the commissioners in a conversation. I know a lot of times some people will like to resort to social media outlets where they're able to spread lies upon lies and misinformation and mischaracterizations.
Well, again,
and so I thank you for coming in and asking questions, because I know that I in the past have been a target of not only yourself but others with lies and
a target of lies as well, my friend.
Yeah, I know you have. So I find it surprising that you, as a former elected official, knowing how counterproductive lies are.
Are you saying that anything I've said here today is a lie?
Well, you're characterizing that we're going to be spending money on this jail. And I'm here to tell you that I have never indicated that we would be doing this jail, that we would never be spending this money on this jail. And in fact, as I understand it, and Jason can confirm this, did we spend any extra money by going out for bid?
No, we had not. We had a balance of funds on the original preliminary design engineering
I
contract.
think all I said was you guys were trying to build a jail and it's difficult to give inside millage back to the people like Geauga County is. I think that's what I said. But Mr. Massey is recording it, so we can go back to the tape.
Great, we can go back and we'll also pull
I think that's what I said.
any commentary that
And
might
we were
be else.
told, the people were told that you guys would be able to build this justice center without raising taxes. I think that's what I also said.
And have we done? And have we raised taxes?
No,
And are we building a garage?
That's the reason why I'm concerned about why you're willing to spend $500,000.
You're not. You just said
On
there.
the-
You just said
on
that
the
we're willing to do
parking
that.
garage.
We are not.
Okay, then, so you're not gonna do it? Are you
There is
gonna-
no chance I will ever vote.
Then why
to
have we spent
build.
money you were willing to do? Why did we go, you guys spend money to go out for bid? Why
It
did you
did not
guys?
cost us money to
The
go out for
design, so
bid.
you're telling me Burgess and Nyepel is working for free?
Jason,
So, if I may, we had a design contract, preliminary design contract with Burgess and Nyepel from a couple years ago, quite frankly. We put this out to bid, I believe it was in 2022, I don't have it in front of me. Bid estimate approximately $225,000 to $50,000, please don't quote me on that. That bid came, one bid was received, it came in, I believe it was north of $400,000. So that was above and beyond the Ohio Revised Code 10% threshold, not a consideration. We then bid it again, 2023, 2024. Zero people even pulled the, let alone bid it, nobody even pulled the bid books to take a peek at it. COVID, everything was fluctuating. Met with the judge one last time late last year. Said maybe the market's settling down. We've heard in these meetings bids are way high in 22, 23, cost escalations, etc. We have the balance of design and engineering and competitive bidding fees in the contract. So we met with B&N again early this year, coming up with cost estimates to the point where to make sure I had a sound, we worked together, Ms. Andrews, a sound estimate. Got a third-party estimate from Burgess and Nyepel. They have another subcontractor that put another number to it to make sure that we were having a true and accurate number to the best of our ability in this bidding environment. Went out to bid again in March. That bid opening was 2 weeks ago, and then it came in at 515, whatever it was, below the estimate at that point in time. May I continue with my conversation? Had a great conversation with Judge Bartolotti, I think it was last week, on that amount. And does it make sense to do this in light of everything that's going on, et cetera, et cetera. The judge was on the same side that my initial comments were to myself, thinking, man, is this the right decision to make with taxpayer dollars at this point? And the judge beat me to it.
Okay.
Before I could even make a recommendation, because no action has been taken.
Other than spending money on design and architecture fees, right?
I don't have the number in front of me, Ms. Andrews. I think we had some money left on the contract, and I'm always honest. I told Mark Mark Hudson called last week and said, hey, I saw the bids came in. I said, Mark, in my heart of hearts, when I make a recommendation to the commissioners, I don't think I can recommend this. I said, do we owe B&N any money? There's no additional fees due for this particular project.
So everything that supposedly, from what I think I'm hearing, this far has cost a darn thing to the county.
Additional.
Than what you already spent.
That is correct.
Okay.
And if I'm wrong, I will stand here in the next work session and say that, but that's not.
That's fine. And then like I said, and that is why I'm here.
Sure.
Okay, because the fact that you guys are even considering it, like,
No.
can we finally just put the darn thing to bed completely and say, no, this is not gonna happen? The judge already has provided secure parking. He does not need anything else.
I was not considering that. And so to say that the commissioners are considering that, yes, it went out for bid, but it has
What
not.
was your,
Come.
did you guys have to do a resolution to go out for bid? I think you did.
We
What
did.
was your vote, no, or did you abstain from that
We
vote?
went out, I voted yes to go out for bid of no cost. I was told that this had no incremental cost to the taxpayers.
Who told you that?
Me.
Jason Hoyt just did, because he told you.
No incremental cost to the taxpayer.
Correct. So we were
Yeah.
already spending X amount over here. By saying yes to going out for bid did not cost us another dollar. What it did, however, to Jason's credit, was allow him to sit down and have a conversation with the judge, in which the judge said $570,000 or whatever came in, $515,000. Yep, okay.
Plus the, design fees and everything. So in other words, their apples to apples comparison, you guys have stopped that with Burgess? Because from what I understood, they were in the process of reviewing all the bids to make apples to apples comparisons.
Well, that's part of the statutory requirement. Bids come in, you have to make sure that nothing was missed. I talked to Mark Hudson, I don't know what it was, Monday, Tuesday, And said, Mark, my recommendation to the commissioners will be to not proceed with this project.
Okay, awesome. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I mean, it
If I'm
was,
misrepresenting the commissioners, I will be back here to say that. I don't think I did. So,
I'm glad to hear it. I mean, and I think the people are too. They were pretty miffed about the fact that you were even considering it. Going out for bid is considering it, Commissioner Beveridge.
Not
They were
voting yes,
upset
no. Going out to
that
bid is not
anybody would even
considering
consider
voting.
something as ridiculous as that
Then we can have
right
that
now.
conversation. And no
Or at
realm,
any time.
you could have come in at $100,000, you could have come in at 10, never voted to build that garage.
Mhm.
So if you want to say the commissioners, don't say me. If you have a question, this is the absolute proper form,
Which
please
is why I'm
come
here.
on in every other week and
Right.
ask questions.
Okay.
Without
Very good,
misconceptions.
very good. This is what you would say, we will never know, okay, because it was being considered and you did vote to go out for bid. You voted yes on that. So I have to take your word for it. I'm happy that the first attempt at exposing, waste, fraud, and abuse in this county worked. The public found out about it, and I do believe that that is part of the reason that you guys are, including the judge, is shutting it down. Thank you very much for your time.